Hello, today I will be talking about the book Brain Breaks for the Classroom by Michelle Gay. My name is Dominique Taylor, and I am a MAT Elementary Education grad student at North Carolina State University, graduating class of 2017. The central premises of this book is to pretty much help students reduce stress, re-energize, and refocus in the classroom. The book is 48 pages long and is broken up into 5 chapters. Each chapter's main focus provides different exercises and activities for the students. The chapters are short and straight to the point. On page 7, it breaks down the 4 brain break essentials, which are pretty much the 4 main parts, like the 4 main points of the book. Get grounded, raise self-awareness, self-space awareness, practice self-control, and build readiness to participate. For the first one, get grounded. That one is a good starting place for students who may have trouble communicating or listening. It's also a good place to start for kids who may have trouble sitting or standing. In this section, it offers a lot of exercises that start off on the ground. They may lay down, so it'll be it would be good for students to like pick a corner or pick a space in the classroom where they can just sit down and unwind so they can get refocused and get back into the lesson. First, raise self-space awareness. This section is for students with a good sense of self-space. There are 5 activities that will provide the child with the help to make them make better choices about how close to be in relation to other people and objects in the classroom. These brain breaks will help the student develop a better sense of personal space. So for these, it would be best again for the child to just pick a space in the classroom so they can just refocus, and then these exercises will also help in the classroom for children who don't know how to be in bigger groups, I guess. For practice self-control, this section emphasizes timing to help students practice self-control and learn the importance of timing and tempo in exercising. All brain breaks can be modified by using different timing elements. These exercises listed in this section are valuable for self-control. So, again, for students who need to pick their own personal space or their own personal corner in the classroom, this this section will really help for, I guess, if you may have students who have trouble focusing or getting to their activity right when the lesson is given. So for these, I would definitely recommend posting up like these exercises in the back of the classroom so that the kids can go back and revisit them. Um, Building readiness to participate emphasize on assigning high energy breaks and then followed up with something low level. For example, they can try something low level like breathing exercises to stimulate or release energy and then refocus it. So these breaks can be done individually or they can be done in groups. I know in my student teaching placement, she would put on like a brain blast video where the kids will dance as a group, and then that way they can release all the energy. So for these brain breaks, I would recommend probably after lunch or after, or maybe before lunch, because depending on the timing during the day, the kids need to just refocus and take their mind off some things. Moving along. 2 teaching strategies. The first one, teach children to use their breath and you'll teach them to pay attention to themselves. I really like this teaching strategy because while you're teaching, you really you're just teaching your kids a whole bunch of information, and it's all just getting crammed into their brain. So I think by having the brain breaks for the classroom, you kind of can just get your class to refocus on themselves and just take a breath and just gather their thoughts. Um, the other one, post the steps of different exercises for the classroom. Again, in the book, there's a poster that you can post in your classroom so the class can go and just take time to themselves and do the exercises on their own. Or you can do them as a group, whichever one works best for the students. I think posting the steps is a great idea because some kids may have a hard time focusing, and then if they can just go sit in their own little personal space in their own corner, they can gather their thoughts and get back to the class. Favorite passage. Take a deep breath. Let your whole body lengthen as you inhale and then lengthen even more as you exhale, as though your head is a balloon floating upward and your spine is the string trailing below. If you feel that you might float away altogether, stamp your feet to bring yourself back to earth. I really like this passage because it kind of reminds me of yoga. I think yoga is a great way for people to just release all the negative energy and all the stress that they may have within themselves. And for kids, a lot of people don't even take into consideration that school can be stressful. So I think having the brain breaks in the classroom can kind of just have the kids sit down and just breathe and focus on themselves and get themselves together. Because we don't always know what is going on in their household, and sometimes kids rely on teachers to be their safe place. So I think brain breaks is a great way for students to just kind of relax, release, and refocus. I hope this webinar will help people get into the brain break in the classroom series. There are a bunch of other books that have different exercises and different posters that you can post in the classroom. I chose this book because it was for K through 5, and my focus, of course, is on elementary education. But I was also reading another one, which was an actual teacher's edition, and it had more exercises and more activities for students to do where they can get more involved in groups. But also, like this specific book, because it had exercises for individual students, and it could also be used not just for the general ed classroom, but it could also be used for the special needs classrooms. It has a lot of things for children to do on their own so they can just refocus and get themselves together. And then I also like it because you can do things in groups. So, like I said before, when you're coming back either from lunch or before you go to lunch, just have the class take a breath and just gather their thoughts, get themselves together before they proceed with the rest of their day or before they even go home. Because, also, like I said, we never know what the class, or not even just the class, whatever the child may be going through. And this is probably their way of just releasing all of the stress and negative energy that they have going on within themselves. Um, I hope that you guys can go get the book on your own and just skim through it or look online at the different books that Michelle Gay has. She's a really great author. My favorite passage actually came from her introduction of this book. Also, throughout the book, there are other sources. She has a lot of expert advice and management tips for teachers. And also, there are guides to help teachers um, pretty much get the class through the specific exercises so you guys can do them together and they just don't have to do them on their own. It also provides pictures to help the kids get through the exercises as well. Um, Hope you guys enjoy.